this really nice, cute guy, Dmitry, sent me your way.
Try booze and drugs.
Don't report that.
What CRM do you use to run this company? A couple months ago, JobNimbus went down like for a day.
Oh boy.
What happened?
5 years ago, my company, Stormgroup Roofing, has been installing two types of shingles from two major manufacturers. We're certified installers for both, but we have issue with one of the brands. My crews were coming to me and complaining about low quality of the product, and it got to the point where crews refused to install that brand. They told me, Dmitry, if you're gonna keep selling the shingles, we're not gonna work for you anymore, we'll work for another contractor. You know, I was taking my business just as always very seriously, and I wanted always to come down to the problem. And here's what I did. I went and I visited both plants. Both plants were still are located here in Minneapolis. We have three, so you're not going to figure out what the plan is. But the point is, after I went and visited the plant of both brands, I understood why they have such big issues. One plant was very, very outdated. I literally have seen those issues in the making. So everything I've seen, what my crews were showing me, were identified top main problems. And I'm like, well, they're probably improving. And my sales rep at the time told me, Dmitry, let me show you how we're making shingles. You know, I guarantee you, you will be impressed. And that was not the case. He took me to the plant, and all my 5 issues with the shingles were still in the making at the plant. You want to understand what company is all about, what kind of culture they have, what kind of employees they have, what kind of values they have. And if you want to understand their struggles, whether you have complaints with them or you're super happy with the service, go and visit their office. That's why here at Roofing Insights, we love company tours. And today I want to bring you company tour of Job Nimbus. I recently flew to Salt Lake City because they have a brand new office, and I wanted to meet those people. I've been doing business with the Job Nimbus for over 4 years. I'm not gonna lie, we had some issues over the years. Integration as a 10 companies and different integrations with third-party apps. And I wanted to understand what have changed, how they fix issues, because now, as you know, JobNimbus is a part of our family. They sponsor our channel. We collaborate with them on a regular basis. They come to our conferences, events, classes. We recommend them highly to you guys. Every once in a while, you come back to us and say, Dmitry, we have issues with this. Dmitry, we have issue with that. So today, I want to show you how JobNimbus operate, and after visiting their company, why I still highly recommend the company, despite maybe some glitches and some issues that we all can experience with the CRMs or tech companies every once in a while. Let's go. So I see you guys have a brand new logo.
Yep.
What's the story behind it?
We just started a new rebrand. The cloud's awesome, but it's not showcasing what we really want. We want people to know we're going to help them grow. And so this is kind of our start to the whole
What does this represent?
Think about moving into the future. Think about construction. Think about very quick, short, very geometric shapes. And if you look at it, it's a little bit of a hidden message. So if you can see, there's the J and then the N that comes with it. So it's just kind of moving into a new space.
Where do you see N?
Ready?
I see.
So no, in the automations, it'll actually show. It'll actually drop down the J and it'll drop over the N, so it makes more sense. But yeah, we just try to push into a new stage within the company. We're growing immensely, and so we're trying to just take it into this new kind of geometric, cutting edge technology.
Okay, how long have you guys been in business?
About 7 years.
So after 7 years, they're changing their logo. Lesson number 1, it's never too late to rebrand, and sometimes you have to refresh your brand.
During this company tour, I will be taking short notes and explanations because we did not spend a lot of time explaining who is who and what they do. Sometimes sound was not really good because it's a really big room and we did not have mic on every person. But first thing first, you see that JobNimbus is rebranding. After years in business, they actually decided to rebrand. It was very interesting for me to see. I did not expect that. Lesson number one, it's never too late to rebrand. Big brands rebrand all the time. I want you to challenge your name, challenge your colors, challenge your logo. Do you like everything about your brand? JobNimbus didn't, and they just recently rebranded, so you'll see new logo of JobNimbus popping up everywhere in the internet.
And then this is obviously our relaxing space that we have. Some key things just to kind of bring out. We do have a ton of books up there that are able for us to check out, and it's really just all business books. All three of our founders, as well as Aaron, they've worked a lot in startup companies, and so it's very much of an educational environment where we're always, being pushed to learn more and improve ourselves in our knowledge. And the books is a way for us to be able to do that.
I love that part. Having books and having your employees reading those books, amazing. As a matter of fact, you see the book on a shelf called Traction. I have it behind me right now too. Traction is one of the books I highly recommend. I love reading books. You can see books behind me. I have a library at my house. It's a great practice for any business to have your employees to read and read often. So Traction is one of those books. Again, my roofing company and JobNimbus all implementing EOS as a Traction book. I'm gonna put links to those books in comments below.
This is one of our conference rooms. All of our
I just want to capture the view inside. I mean, look at this. A lot of people are gonna hate you for this view. So we're so jealous. And Minnesota is so boring. Just warehouses. I don't have anything like this around me. Do you have like bears walking by with bisons?
No, sometimes some deer though. Yeah.
How did COVID-19 affect you guys, like your everyday activities?
Yeah. Well, prior to COVID-19, we were really a remote company anyways. So we had actually just moved into this space when COVID hit. And so we moved in here because we were growing so quickly. And so this space actually holds about 70 desks. So
let me make it clear. Before COVID-19, you were working remotely.
All
COVID-19 happened, you just, hey, let's get an office and move in together.
I know, you would think, right? No, this is...
Office space was really cheap.
Yeah, office space was cheap. No, we were already working towards this when COVID hit. And then COVID hit, and then there's been like 6 of us in the office, but as you can see, there's a lot of room for social distancing, a lot of space. So we've started to see more and more of our local employees start to come into the office.
It's happening here.
These are our QuickBooks specialists.
All good things.
Yeah.
These
So
are QuickBooks.
QuickBooks what?
QuickBooks specialists. So anytime
You're gonna
that
be my friend.
Yeah, anytime you need the integration, the JobNimbus QuickBook integration, these are the ladies that would help you through that. Also, any type of needs, right? Any type of
If you've got an invoicing question, it kind of comes to us. If billing, that kind of thing.
So QuickBooks syncs data like I think overnight, every day or something like that?
Every day, and depending on which one, if you do
Online?
about every hour, it'll sync it. So it'll pass the information between the two systems.
We hated it. We couldn't do it. We tried and tried and tried. I have like the best accountant, and we gave up.
You could have options though. You
Sure.
could just sync your customers and not sync the transactions underneath, and that way you just don't have to put them in 2 places.
Yeah, we still do. It's good to know because we're still doing double entry, which is it's not a big deal. But for me, like all my sales reps train just to go to 2 different
Do it in both.
apps. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well, think about it, because you can just, then you're not putting in the address twice. You're not putting in more
what happens?
chance for error.
What happens if you don't sell the job? So you'll have.
It never goes to QuickBooks.
Do you have a card?
No, I don't have a card.
That was my highlight of entire company tour. When I heard that they actually have QuickBooks specialists working for JobNimbus now in-house, it was music to my ears. Why? Because I used JobNimbus, and 3 years ago we actually struggled to have QuickBooks communicate to JobNimbus, and all CRM struggles with it because QuickBooks is the hardest integration, is the biggest software in accounting world, but it's very big and complicated program. So when I heard that JobNimbus actually helps you now and connect the two, and they actually have a QuickBooks specialist in-house, it made perfect sense for me. As you guys know, if you follow me, I separated QuickBooks from JobNimbus because of the risk associated with it. I did not want to lose any of my data. I did not trust the integration before, but now we're actually trying to talk to it again. And I'm reaching out to those QuickBooks specialists to help me with the integration. So if you're using QuickBooks, if you're using JobNimbus, you will be able to connect them much smoother than what it used to be in the past, and JobNimbus will help you with that. Those ladies are awesome.
Question for you. So you're a CRM company. What CRM do you use to run this company?
We use HubSpot.
We use HubSpot.
You use HubSpot. How come you're not using JobNimbus?
Don't record that. I think with HubSpot, just because we are so heavy on marketing, we use HubSpot because of that aspect of it, right? Because HubSpot is really a marketing tool, and then we've just kind of added in a couple of the sales things, but it's mostly started as the marketing
If
aspect.
you're looking for good CRM, check out HubSpot.
With all jokes aside, JobNimbus is perfect for running your roofing business, and HubSpot is perfect for running your marketing division or market business. Like for example, here at Roofing Insights, we also don't use JobNimbus. Even though everybody on the team familiar with the JobNimbus, my receptionist actually works for both companies, myself too, but JobNimbus is just JobNimbus. It's made for roofing construction companies, and HubSpot, it's marketing software. So it was not a tricky question. I just wanted to know for my own purposes, what CRM do they use? They use HubSpot and JobNimbus. I actually recommend both. So if you have several businesses, maybe you're trying to build something with the marketing, check out HubSpot. They're amazing for that.
This is our all hands room. So obviously any big, large presentations, this is the space now that we can use. We've thought about having virtual trainings. So a lot of our clients say they love the JNSS educational seminars. So we've thought about using this space for things like that. Easy to be able to obviously cast in here to live feed and all that. So yeah. Yeah, it's gorgeous, huh? So.
This is our HR team, our recruiters.
Hello.
Who do you guys recruit?
We recruit
Like for this office or?
for the company.
Nice. How many positions you have opening now, like
Right
hiring
now,
now?
currently,
Yeah.
this week. I have 3 or 2, and you
I have 3.
He has 3, so we have 5.
Is it harder to find people now than like a year ago? How's the labor pool?
That's a good question.
It's different. There's more people looking now, but the people who have jobs are much harder to pull because they don't want to. They feel job security, and they don't want to go over to a new company and be bottom of the totem pole because if there's layoffs, because you hear about layoffs all the time. So people are much harder to pull from the jobs they currently have.
And then I would say on the softer side, the soft skills, marketing, sales, customer success, there's a bigger pool to choose from. So it's not as difficult. But you know, we're niche and we want the best. so we're waiting for those that we want to hire slow and make sure we get it right. But we don't have time to hire slow.
One of the signs of healthy, growing company is that they are always hiring. It was very refreshing to see HR department. I know a few other CRMs who serves roofing contractors. Those companies are not hiring. They have 3-4 people, the same amount of people they have 5 years ago, and they're trying to grow slow, and unfortunately it's not enough. Demand is so big, there's so many information, so many apps, everything changes so quickly. When I saw that JobNimbus have HR department, they're always hiring, it was very refreshing for me, a reminder that we always should be hiring as a business owners, because You know, you have to attract top talent. You really should be hiring all year round, and JobNimbus does exactly that. Do you have HR department in your business? I know a lot of roofers struggle with the recruitment right now. Talent is hard to find, and there's a labor shortage, not in our favor. Comment below, how do you solve the problem of recruiting new talent in your business? I want to know.
This is the hallway of sales.
So this is sales team?
Yes. So like Shannon always says, who's our office manager, you keep sales happy. So
Okay.
if you can see, they kind of have the best views of the house. So these guys
Hey,
are
guys.
here.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Jenna Holman in sales.
Dmitry.
Yes, nice to meet you. Thank you for everything that you do.
Love
I
it.
would have to say you're very legendary for
Lo-
us in
love it.
sales. Yeah, because they
Keep
always
going,
say,
keep going, don't
they
stop.
always say, they say this really nice, cute guy Dmitry sent me your way. No, they do. Though it's often, it's several times a week. So it's very much appreciated, and
Love it.
and we're making dreams come true for them too. So it's awesome.
Do you see big traffic from companies who come from other CRMs? Like not happy? I see it's weird. Like
They
I see
bounce around.
bounce around a lot.
Yeah, but we get a lot over from, I would say, AccuLinks and Builder Trend. Seems like very
Top two?
common. Yeah.
Well, where are the computers? We're like data.
Oh, are you talking?
I'm talking about servers.
We do not have the servers
I
here.
thought you're a tech company.
I know, but it's also important to outsource some of that stuff, right? The marketing section. So this is where Kaylee and I are, and then we have the Sarahs, Sarah D and Sarah S.
So what do you guys do? How do you market JobNimbus?
We have a lot of channels. Trade secrets. Google ads, Facebook ads.
So how many channels do you have?
11 paid channels. Where
11
we
paid?
pay to ads, featured, whatever it is.
Sure.
And then we have a handful, like we have organic, which Google content we come out with, our blog, that kind of thing.
What's number one source of marketing?
In terms of getting leads? Close rates, in terms of numbers, Google ads.
Google Ads?
Yeah. Kaylee.
How about Facebook?
Facebook actually brings in a really high amount of leads, but not as good of a close rate. So we're using that more for awareness stuff and lead forms and stuff like that.
Google still rules.
Yeah, Google in terms of getting people to close, Google Organic's number one, Google Ads is number two. In terms of numbers, Google Ads is number one, Google Organic is number two.
No surprise in marketing department, Google still rules, Google Ads still rules, obviously social media. But to be honest with you, you have to be everywhere. You have to use multiple channels. I love how JobNimbus using content marketing and pretty much all the tools that they can. They use guys like me, influencers, and you have to be smart too. In your roofing business, you can do the same thing what big companies are doing. You can do Google Organic, Google Ads. You can hire local influencers to talk about your brand and promote you, be your brand ambassador. Obviously, you can create content, you can create videos. What JobNimbus does, all roofing companies can do as well. It works for any business these days.
So if you ever get a gift in the mail from JobNimbus, it's from me.
And you send them as a marketing material?
Yeah. So we'll send it for a whole bunch of different reasons. We have a ton of different partners. So let's say a partner gives us a list and that are not JobNimbus users, we'll go ahead and send them a little gift and a little welcome letter, or maybe a co-branded swag thing. We'll do even just coming down to fun little games to send, like kinetic sand or candy. Candy and food always goes really well for roofers. So anything like that.
Try booze and drugs. That will go even
Maybe not the drugs, but the.
Saying that for years.
So
Let's
best
see.
desk contest is Mr. Brad for sure.
Look at those hats. That's cool.
The thing about me, though, is I'm working with marketing as the creative director, but I'm also on UI and UX. So
What's that?
that would be user interface and user experience. So I'm working with the product team. That's why I'm right here in the middle of the product team and the marketing team. And I work with, let me pull up some fun designs right here. I work on designing the actual interface for new product features and improvements.
I have a question for you.
Oh boy.
How much copycatting or copycats do you see in this world, like between CRMs? Do you see people trying to copycat your designs? Do you see similarity between other CRMs?
Yeah, it's generally pretty, I mean, we'll see, you know, some things that are pretty close to what we've designed coming up in others, and we also always look at other great inspiring pieces of software to try to get ideas for how we can improve. It's kind of like phones, like you could go iOS or Android, mostly they have the same kinds of features nowadays because it's natural to get to that sort of a feature set for that particular product.
I'm gonna ask this owners, founders later, but I wanna your answer. A couple months ago, JobNimbus went down like for a day. What happened?
Sure. Yes. Actually, yeah, Jeff.
It only went down once.
The latest time, the last time. So what happened a couple months ago?
So Jeff is our director of engineering, just so you know who he is.
Yeah, so if I'm being filmed. So what we've been doing is we've been re-platforming our infrastructure so that we can handle more users in a more timely and robust way in the long term. And there were two ways to get there. One was to do it a little bit more risky in the sense of upgrading clusters at a time in a much more aggressive way. The other way we would have had to do it is build a whole bunch of testing framework on the back end and test it there and simulate fake traffic and all sorts of things to upgrade that infrastructure. We chose against that and instead thought we were fairly safe at rolling it out, and we had problems. So we had a couple instances where we affected our customers more than we should have. We learned a lot from that, and we're not doing it anymore, and now we've gone 5 weeks with no downtime.
You realize you just say simulate fake traffic on the cameras. Simulate fake traffic. Love that phrase.
Well, the key thing too, and I mean, you can correct me, Jeff, I mean, when you're coming to code, right, and you're putting out new things, you never know, like one little thing in the code could be wrong, and it may not cause a bug in any of the other stuff that you've trialed and you've tested, but then the moment you go live, that one little thing can cause a huge issue. And so no matter how much we scrape and no matter how much, I mean, we're talking about technology, and I'm not even an engineer, but I just know that sometimes it's that one little thing can cause the biggest problems.
Yeah, so it gets more and more complex, right? And the more complexity you have, the more you realize you can't plan for every piece or every different parameter or different aspect of that complexity. And so it's actually better to plan for failure and be able to resolve it extremely fast. So if we do have a problem, how do we roll back to something that's functional sub-second, sub-minute time frame, as opposed to spending hours and hours and hours trying to get every permutation of complexity?
I know it was probably one of the hardest questions, but let's face it, we'll all have issues. Sooner or later, your business will go down, you'll get a better review, something major will happen, maybe you will re-roof the wrong house. It's not about what happens, it's about how you deal with it. And I appreciate JobNimbus, how they deal with their problems, how open and transparent they are about their issues. And as a tech company, as a roofing company, you always will have to just be honest with your people, with your potential clients, with your employees. Just say it how it is. Don't sugarcoat it. Problems happen, solve it. Don't try to hide it. Don't try to act like nothing happened. JobNimbus owns their problems, and I really appreciate that about them. I want to hear from you guys. If you're a user of JobNimbus, if you've been using them for years or maybe recently switched, what do you like, what do you don't like? We're gonna read all the comments. JobNimbus is gonna read all the comments. I want to hear from you. Say it how it is. If you did not like the service, just be polite, be respectful. You know, constructive criticism only welcomes in comments below. I'm gonna put all the links from mentions from this video in description. Let me know what you think, if you like our company tours, and who would you like us to visit next. Thank you guys. Stay tuned, like this video, subscribe to the channel.